Not too many people have the time for extensive study of philosophy and political science. So why not make it easier for everyone by presenting this great encyclopedia? Note that the entries are arranged in alphabetical order, just like in any other encyclopedia. However, this is not one of those silly, old-fashioned alphabets, but rather a modern deconstructionist one. Everybody will easily understand its merits. Liberalism. That if everyone would just mind his own business instead of everyone else's, then everything will be just fine. Socialism. That once the government takes everything away from everyone, everybody will be exceedingly happy and the people will rule. Conservatism. Things were never as good as in the times of good old Kaiser Franz. Nationalism. That we are the best and the noblest of all. Everybody knows it, and that's why they try to destroy us. Hegel. That God completely dissolved himself in the world because he had to. Spinoza. That there is nothing but God. Materialism. That everything is pretty much like a chair or a brick. Vicious circle. C. Circulus vitiosus. Circulus vitiosus. C. Vicious circle. Leibniz. That it can't be any better than it is, because God knows best. Aristotle. That the best is to stick to the middle, lest you perish. Wittgenstein, early. That it is better not to talk too much, especially about philosophy. Wittgenstein, late. You can say anything you want, as long as you first make up the rules. Postmodernism. Everything is allowed. Deconstructivism. Whatever you say doesn't mean anything anyway. Post-structuralism. I don't know what it is. Skepticism. Nothing is known. Augustine, saint. That you'll probably go to hell. If you go to heaven, it is only because of God's whim. Freud. That from the moment of birth, everyone wants to have sex and cares for nothing else, but he won't admit it. Absolute, the. Something about which nothing, absolutely nothing, can be said. Pascal. Admit you're a rascal and an idiot, and maybe you'll be saved, or maybe not. Stoics, the. Everything is just fine as it is. Democracy. So that everyone believes he has a say and constantly complains he does not have enough say. Descartes. God exists, that's for sure, but he hasn't been seen in the world. Also, he gave us reason, and now we can tell what's truth and what's not. Rousseau. Things are getting worse and worse, and who knows what will come next. Marx. God doesn't exist, only people, and everybody constantly scrambles for pennies. Yet in a few years, everybody will be very happy as there will no longer be money, and everything will be distributed by coupons. Strauss. That things should be just like in the good old days. The educated class should rule, while the boors should listen and not argue. historicism. That today this is the truth, tomorrow it will be something different. Hobbes. The bigger and the stronger wins, and in general, the fist rules. Plato. There is nothing more beautiful than beauty, nothing more comic than comicality, nothing more stupid than stupidity, and so on. Thomism. The world is beautifully arranged, and everything is in its place. Popper. Things can be explained one way or another, but what is really out there we don't know. Existentialism. You too can be a tragic character. Positivism. Don't waste your time on stupid questions like why something is this way or that way, or what is good and what is bad. Metaphysics is about whether something is or is not. Physics. See metaphysics. Subtract meta. Phenomenology. You should look at how things appear. Whether they really exist or not is of no concern. Heidegger. Who knows where you came from, yet you must be stalwart and pay no attention to what others say. Husserl. Look carefully at yourself, and then you will see the whole truth. Marxism-Leninism, scientific. That the government, but only a communist one, must not only be obeyed, but also deeply loved. Kant, theoretical philosophy. That there is a certain mind in which we partake and out of which we mold our world, yet nobody knows what this world is really like. Kant, practical philosophy. That whatever you do, you must not have feelings about it or think about the outcome. All you must think is if it would be good if everybody did the same. Bergson. That nothing is, but everything changes, even God. Theology is the scholarship of theology, especially that theology is very scholarly. Spirit is this wise thing that rules the world. Berkeley. What you see exists. What you don't see doesn't. Nietzsche. That everything fights against everything else, and it will always be like this, even if it makes no sense. Relativism. It can be like this, or it can be like that. Utilitarianism. When you indulge yourself, like having a good dinner, you commit a deed that is morally commendable because you add to the mass of happiness on earth. Futurology. A very scientific science on what is not and will never be, namely the future. Hume. That you see what you see, but what you think you can never prove. Social justice. That you don't have nearly enough money. Thales. Water.